But in any event, they were up in the situation where that occurred, they were up on a hillside, and I'm saying I think he was German, and I was shot more than once.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. You like that?
I like it.
Good. Feels good?
You enlist?
I did, yeah. After my first year of college at Swarthmore, I came home because thought I was going to be drafted or I was going to enlisted, one or the other, and so I just enlisted.
And where did you go when you...
When I went for the early training,
Yeah.
Texas. Well, it seemed to me there were a lot of facilities in Texas that were used in the training of new personnel in the military. That was 103rd Division is where I had been transported, and from there I was moved. I would have thought from Texas, and of course it had to go to the East Coast, and we went from there to France.
Where were you in France?
South End. We landed on the south portion of France. Of course, the war was going on in France at that time. The 103rd Division was landed in South France.
Okay.
And we went from there, northward to Germany. We began to have military interaction between the U.S. and the Germans. That was still in France, and we moved on up the road. It was just, and it seems to me we were in short supply as far as the outfit I was in, and we were moving up toward Germany and happened to be on a roadway, and this is still the 103rd Division, one part of it that I was with, and we were just moving along the roadway when we became under fire from Germans, and I assume it was Germans. I don't know. I don't know if they were. There would have been others who were on the German side who were shooting at us, but in any event, they were up in the situation where that occurred, they were up on a hillside, and I'm saying I think he was German, and I was shot more than once, and I was evacuated back off of France and taken back to England, where I was put in some medical center. I don't know anything about that aspect of it. Trying to think where that was, other than England, and why it was sent back to England. I guess because it was less violence, and however, I was in the hospital when we were attacked by the Germans, and I remember that rather vividly because the attack took place against the military, the doctor's treatment facility, and
So,
I remember getting under the bed when the military action was begun on the facility in which I was located in training, recovering from my
from your injury.
injury in France. And, well, anyway,
Was anyone hurt in that?
I don't recall. I wasn't. Apparently was well enough to go back to France and be with the 103rd Division, which is the outfit I had been in since we started in South France and where I was when I was injured. So we were moving forward up in France, and the war was beginning to take a position that it was almost over, and we continued to move on up, and the outfit that I was with, we were moved to Austria, and the 103rd Division, Company C, which I was with, we were moved from Austria from Austria into France again, and out of France, and all I can remember is that the war was pretty much over as far as I was concerned, and was discharged, and I was returned to Indiana and to the Richmond area, and with the passage of time, I was discharged from the military and back in Wayne County, and I still was having some difficulty with my military situation and my complete recovery, or I don't mean that was really significant because I was ready to go back to school, but I liked the idea of staying in Richmond and not going back to the Philadelphia area. And I stayed in Richmond and transferred from Swarthmore to Earlham, and I continued to live with my parents and continued to go to Earlham, and I spent 3 years at Earlham, added to the 1 year at Swarthmore, and I was a suitable graduate and was graduated from Earlham. And made the necessary applications for enrollment at the University of Michigan in the law program, and I was accepted there and went into law school and spent the requisite time going through 3 years at the Michigan law program, and after that I was graduated from Michigan law, came back to Richmond, and of course I had to have an entitlement to practice law in Indiana, and so after I came back from Michigan with the graduate degree, I took the necessary actions to do whatever was necessary to become a lawyer in Indiana. I wasn't trained in respect. I just had the 1 year of college, and so I had no training in the military before I was inducted. I was a Quaker. That's foreign to my training, limited though it was.
Did it ever cross your mind that you might be a conscientious objector and a pacifist and not fight, not bear arms?
I suppose it did, but not very much. And certainly once I was inducted into the military, I went, it sticks with you, but I don't remember all of it.
Well, that's probably just as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fine to have put that behind me.